Hello there, good morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social, a new week. Welcome. I'm Rena Obozeghie. The junta, which ousted Niger Republic President Mohamed Bazoum, has reportedly indicated interest to dialogue with ECOWAS after over 2 weeks of returning the sub-regional body. This came to the fore after the coup leader, Major General Abdurrahman Chiani, met a group of Islamic scholars from Nigeria. The information was released by the junta-appointed Prime Minister Ali Mohamed Lamine, who said the talks would take place in the next few days. Part of what the Prime Minister is saying is that we have agreed and the leader of our country has given the green light for dialogue. They will now go back and inform the Nigerian president what they have heard from us. We hope in the coming days, that's ECOWAS, will come here to meet us to discuss how the sanctions imposed against us will be lifted. I noted something about that. Can we just go back? Thank you. It says to discuss how the sanctions imposed against us will be lifted. Now we hear that they are going for dialogue, which means there will be peace in return, but they are saying that to return or to discuss how sanctions imposed against us will be lifted. Noted. So let's have reactions now. Sani Momo says this is laudable for everyone making moves to bring peace and good governance to those that deserve it, the people. Religious leaders are playing an awesome role in this regard. This is what is expected from religious groups. God bless Nigeria. Amen. MJ Tweet says General Abdurrahman Chiani just agreed to dialogue with ECOWAS. He shouldn't go in person. No, I don't trust ECOWAS, whose leaders are puppets of the West. Badon says, when will the clerics meet Boko Haram to dialogue? And final reaction to this is coming from Chiboy, who says, what happens next? Would the Democrats turn a new leaf? Would they be accountable for their selfish actions moving forward? Maybe all of these will be answered when they finally come to the table. Meanwhile, back here in Nigeria, the defense headquarters is saying that the military is better under democracy. That makes the cause for military to interfere in democracy highly unpatriotic, wicked, and an attempt to distract the armed forces of Nigeria from performing its constitutional responsibilities. They said this in a statement, and the armed forces, he said, they are law-abiding people and they would continue to work to preserve the hard-earned democracy, in which Nigeria means that they will not get involved in any act of sabotage. That's for everyone or anyone who is saying that there is a need for coup in Nigeria as a way to make the democratically elected leaders sit up. But let's have some reactions to this now. Windows Safe Haven on Facebook says, the unending terrorism in Nigeria isn't your constitutional responsibility to end it. 21 farmers in Plateau on Thursday were massacred by killer herdsmen in their farmlands. Isn't your constitutional responsibility to protect them? Make una dey play. Saturday says coup isn't planned by the army generals or the senior officers because these categories of officers are enjoying from the government of the day, while the junior officers are the ones that are suffering. Also, they are the ones that can plan a coup in any country. For Patrick, politicians who force themselves into power is the same thing as coup. Leaders who pay INEC to declare them a winner also commit coup. Military should look into it because politicians are giving appointment to orgas at the top in military doesn't mean all is well with democracy. For James, he says anyone calling for military government is not normal. Okay, so let's see. The army is insisting no coup in Nigeria, and we do not want anything as such because it's not the best of experiences. But away from that, social media users are demanding the immediate prosecution and the imprisonment of former President Muhammadu Buhari and the suspended governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, for allegedly using the country's foreign reserve as collateral for loans. This is in reaction to the audited financial statement that you would find on CBN's website that the Apex Bank is owing some foreign banks and 2 US-based companies the sum of $13.8 billion, which is equivalent to 10.6 trillion naira. Now, the bank said that it entered into a securities lending agreement with Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, and as part of the agreement, the Apex Bank pledged that holdings on foreign securities in return for cash. According to the math that has been solved by Business Days, CBN's debt to some of these foreign banks may cost Nigeria 40.7% of its entire foreign reserve, currently standing at $34.1 billion. Like about half of everything that we think we ever had is going. For Mavis, it says Emefiele is in jail while Buhari works freely. He couldn't have committed all these atrocities without getting a nod from the previous president. Both parties should be in jail. Haruna says, was Jonathan arrested for Dasuki's offense? And a finance expert on Twitter, on X, as Elon Musk prefers it now, Kalu, it says, who owns FX reserves? CBN. Who spent FX reserves? CBN. Spent on what? Defending the naira. Why did the naira need defending? Because it was weak. That is $1 to 469 naira. Why was the naira weak? Many reasons, but a big reason was the CBN printed 23 trillion naira for Buhari to spend at will without oversight. Who should have provided oversight on the printing of 23 trillion naira? Well, National Assembly and Debt Management Office. So the CBN printed 23 trillion naira that made the naira lose value. Then same CBN used foreign reserves to prop up the naira they were weakening. Yes. Will anyone go to jail? And it says, depends. But final reaction is coming from Israel, who says, as nothing remained to use for Nigeria, unko, wait till you expect them to use as collateral. And to our final story for the day, the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on Saturday began the distribution of flyers and posters across the southeast to notify residents of the cancellation of the sit-at-home exercise in the region. That's IPOB spokesperson Ima Powerful is the one talking now, and he said that in a statement that he titled Monday Weekly Sit-at-Home, an ugly phase of a bygone history that must never be repeated, as echoed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Part of the statement will be that any person or persons talking about a non-existent sit-at-home in the southeast is an enemy of the people and shall be dealt with accordingly. The exercise also aims to inform the people that sit-at-home is not only dead, but will never again be invoked or deployed as a tool of civil disobedience in the group's quest for self-determination. That is Ima Powerful talking right there. Over to some reactions now. Mr. Jack Ikem says, "Lo, took them 2 years to realize the futility of that stupid exercise. When it started, they claimed Southeast controls the zoo economy. If we sit at home, the economy of the zoo will crumble. This is what happens when illiterates and power mongers are left in charge." For Chimobi, it says those distributing the flyers were irrelevant in indigenous people of Biafra. And finally, Ime Etim thinks that Kano will soon get his freedom. Let's see where all of this is making efforts towards. Let's see what all of these efforts are towards, whether it's actually to save the day or because they want their leader freed. But that's everything on Kakaaki Social this morning. Our WhatsApp number is 081154366670. Otutuoma Adora.
All right, so let's start from your last story.
Okay.
Even on the newspaper review today, we saw one of the headlines say they are sharing flyers as well across the board. But someone also argued that, you know, beyond flyers, I think there should be a stronger advocate because people's mindset are already wired in fear.
True.
So how do you get them to disbelieve that, you know, there is no longer sit at home and that they will be safe? I think that's where the conversation is right now.
Yes, definitely. And your point is very strong right there, because something that has happened for 2 years, how do you suddenly say, oh, just by flyer and security is guaranteed out there? And I know that that is the big deal in Enugu State right now, where they are saying, oh, the governor, this, like, people actually made videos of the governor's filling station, and he said he locks his filling station, tells his staff to sit back on Mondays, but he tells other people to come outside. So I think that is something to discuss right there, to actually say, are we safe? Are you sure? And I'm not sure that even the flyers will make any difference anytime soon, or they will just want the government officials, oh yeah, go and test the water for us. Let's be sure that we are safe when we finally go outside.